Evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Good evening.
All right. Hello there. How are you?
I'm blessed.
Excellent. Hi, everyone. Hello. Hi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello there. First Lady Park, I see you smiling. How are you? Good to see you. You're on mute. Unmute yourself. Join us.
I'm happy to be here. Saddened that I missed the last couple of sessions. We had a number of things going on between church and family stuff, but I am here. I actually emailed the info at whatever the domain is, just to, because I was trying to connect with you to find out how I can get involved to be a part of the conversation in the marketing, because this is so needed. And I was
Excellent.
talking about this series to our trustees ministry at the church. And it was like, I don't know, you guys got to join. They're doing something and we need to be a part of it.
Excellent. I am so looking forward to that. And also to your husband and you, because I want to also share with North Jersey District Missionary Baptist Association.
Absolutely. Count us in.
Absolutely.
So do you have my telephone number to figure out how we can schedule a time to connect, to really put a strategy together to put that out there? Because I'll help you.
Okay, I do. I have your number, and I also put my email in the chat so that we can see. This is what it's all about. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And for the
No
session
worries.
that you missed, you can feel free to. I'll show you how to go ahead and grab those so you won't be behind. And you
Okay, wonderful. And I started the 12-step process. I actually, after the first session, I downloaded the workbook and started working through it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, excellent. This is what we want to hear, because this is exactly what we're going to be talking about tonight. All things curriculum and all things D-Free. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's a wonderful way to start tonight. Yes. Hello, everybody. I see some other folks coming in the room. Thank you guys for ear hustling on that little chat, because it's going to be beneficial to all of us. So we're looking forward to this. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you, First Lady. And we are going to get started, because I know we were a little behind with our time. So let me just go ahead and set this up so we can get started today. And as always, we welcome all of you to Monday Night Live. Monday Night Live. Give me 1 second. There we go. Voila. All righty. So welcome to Monday Night Live, where we meet every single Monday night from 7 p.m. Eastern to 8 p.m. Eastern to talk about all things D-Free, all things curriculum, all things financial, anything you have on your heart. We want to discuss it. We have a topic tonight, but we also want you to share. And so this is your first time with us today. We welcome you. We ask that you might drop your name in the chat, as well as where you're from and how you ended up at Monday Night Live. Our chat is always open and active. And so just as we get started, there are a few housekeeping rules, and here they are. First, you guys are all, you're automatically muted, but we ask that you might unmute yourself to join the conversation, but keep yourself muted just to minimize any distractions and to reduce microphone feedback. So please, but feel free to join us in the chat or in our conversation. These sessions are always recorded and they're available for rewatch through our website. So our website is www.dfreefoundation.org. You just click on the carousel and it'll bring you right to our YouTube page, where you can grab any session that you may have missed. And so we want to encourage you to go ahead and do that so that you can catch up with us, and you might find some useful information. And we want to make sure that we all stay abreast of all the current events and things that are going on. In addition, our chat is wide open. Folks are always active in our chat. Our team is there. They are ready. They are behind the scenes, ready to answer any questions you may have. So if you have a question and you don't want to jump on camera and say it, you can always put it in the chat. But the chat is really helpful because we're dropping links all night for everything that is going on, all things D-Free. So make sure you keep your eye on that chat. We have the raised hand feature, which is inactive. Please make sure to go ahead and put your hand up so we can acknowledge you and go ahead and add you to the conversation. Please bear with us, because sometimes I can't see everyone on screen, but we are looking forward to having everyone participate. So please feel free to unmute yourself or put the raise hand feature up. And just by way of reminder, thank you, First Lady Parker, who mentioned being a member of our D-Free Academy. That's where we want everybody to land. So join our D-Free Academy, register at mydfree.org. We want you to register and complete the 12 steps to financial freedom. There's so many ways to do it. We mention it every week, but for those of you who are new, you can do it in 30 days. You can do it in 6 weeks. It's a self-paced program. You can do it at your own pace. We encourage you to sign up, register, but not just register and sign up, but complete it. It will change your life. And if you're interested in leading D-Free courses, you can join our leaders course. And that is, it's about 3 parts, which amounts to about 3 hours. But again, it's also self-paced. And afterwards, you get a certificate that will allow you to be a certified D-Free trainer. But more importantly, it unlocks the rest of the D-Free Academy to you. So you are able to use our facilitator's guide, our facilitator's course. I don't know if I mentioned it, but you also get a free downloadable workbook. And that is going to be expiring soon. So if you haven't already signed up, make sure that you encourage other folks to sign up. So please feel free to sign up for our D-Free at dfreefoundation.org. And as always, we encourage you to join the $1 Billion Challenge. You can register today at billiondollarpaydown.com. I know it sounds intimidating, $1 Billion Challenge, but the reality is that we believe that $1 billion worth of debt and $1 billion worth of savings. So $1 billion worth of debt can be paid down in the Black and Brown community, as well as $1 billion worth of savings accumulated in the Black and Brown community. And we need your help to do so. So that's our communal space where we all get together, your debt, my savings, your savings, our church, your church, our sorority, your sorority, all those places land in that spot. It is strictly confidential. It kind of mirrors that ticker that I guess is that thermometer that would be outside the church, that would measure all the deposits that were made for the Sunday school or the building fund, and you'd watch that thermometer. This is your digital thermometer. And so we want to see that thermometer rise in the Black and Brown community. So we encourage everyone to sign up and to encourage others to be able to do so. It's a wonderful wealth of tools that are available there, as well as pointers. And we want to encourage you all to sign up. You can do it with your family, with your friends, with your book club. And so we want you to land right there at the billiondollarpaydown.com. It is confidential, strictly confidential, and password protected. And as a reminder to the person who registers the most Academy registrants, you could win $500. And if you register folks for the $1 Billion Challenge, you could win $250. We want to encourage you to pay down your debt. And these are just going to be seeds that we sow into your life, as long as you go ahead and get folks on that Academy, as well as that $1 Billion Challenge. We want to remind everyone that every Saturday in October from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern, we are meeting virtually via Hopin. It's another virtual app, and you are able to disrupt the wealth gap by learning more and more through D-Free partnership along with Prudential. We've had some amazing sessions. This last week, we had a great one with our executive director, Tamika Stenbridge. And she was able to share. She's in the chat tonight, and she can go ahead and share that with you. But we want you to register for part 4. We're on the 4th part at dfree.com, and it's /wealth gap. So we want to make sure that you register for part 4. If you haven't seen the others, once you register, you can go back and do the rewatch. So every Saturday, we're meeting 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I mean, they've had some wonderful sessions. And so we want to encourage and let everybody know how to disrupt the wealth gap. Upcoming events, we have a pastors and clergy edition of the 12 Steps to Financial Freedom that is starting November 1st. It is featuring our very own CEO and founder, Dr. DeForest B. Soaries Jr. He is going to be sharing with pastors and clergy the 12 steps. Only it's not going to be a 12-week class. It'll only be 3 weeks to be able to pour into pastors and clergy. There are some things that our pastors face and clergy face that the rest of us don't face. And so this is going to be through that lens, as well as sharing the 12 steps. And it's a great way to be able to introduce D-Free to your family, your friend, your pastor, your church. If you've had trouble sharing, I don't know how to tell my pastor about this, I can't get the words right. Invite them to this session, because they get to talk to Dr. Soaries one-on-one, as well as be featured with other pastors and be able to share just dynamic conversation, as well as information. And we want to remind you that FinFest is fast approaching. November 19th through the 21st, that is our FinFest. Remember, FinFest is short for Financial Festival. This is the place where things are happening immediately. So we're going to have celebrity appearances and financial testimonies, but the big thing is there's immediate financial assistance. So if you know somebody who has their back against the wall and they want immediate help, this is your landing place. We want to make sure that you get here, that you get all the help that is available to you. There are going to be financial professionals on deck. We have some musical performances and a little bit of comedy. Yes, looking forward to that. And you can register today at dfree.com/FinFest21. And as you know, with our weekly Wednesday webinars, we are highlighting those who are featured at FinFest. And last week, we had an amazing gentleman who shared just about the homes that he was purchasing and how he's invested in over 1,000 investment properties. And now we have your franchise advisors that are coming. So you want to know more about franchises? Richard Weintraub will be there. He's a consultant, a franchise broker, and he can share with you how to get a franchise. And so you can be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And that's this Wednesday, October 20th, 12 p.m. noon Eastern. And you can register also at dfreefoundation.org. You know, with our webinars, these are a wonderful place as well to listen. You can find a login. You don't have to talk. You can just listen and just grab all the nuggets. I always encourage folks to chew up the meat and spit out the bones. So grab those things that pertain to you. And so we want to make sure that you show up and we see you on Wednesdays. Those are going to be hosted by Dr. Soaries as well. And then we want to call all of our D-Free ambassadors, influencers, and volunteers. Those of you who have identified yourself as such, you've shared with us that you want to help move the movement forward. We want to see you on a Zoom call on Thursday, October 21st at 7 p.m. Eastern. We have some wonderful initiatives that we want to prepare to jumpstart 2022 with, and we need your help. And so we want you to register via this meeting ID, which is available, or you can register on our website. And we want to encourage you all to come out and join us on a Zoom. All of our ambassadors, our influencers and volunteers, we thank you so much for your continued support of D-Free Global Foundation. And we are looking forward to your assistance, and it's greatly appreciated. So we want to see you on Thursday. It's easy to remember, 2121. And as always, we love to share a testimony. So sit back for our testimony today.
One thing I learned through D-Free that I was not aware of before is really the relationship one has with money from childhood and how that absolutely impacts what decisions we make today. And while I may have cognitively known that, I didn't really process it in my head until, Dr. Soaries and the leaders of D-Free were able to really articulate that through video and through the live check-ins. I also really became aware of the need to have weekly check-ins on finances. We were on the path to being debt-free in general, but hadn't really kind of, jumped in there. But seeing Black and Brown people sharing this same message, but in an even more diverse way, but also a culturally responsive way of dealing with finances, really helped me to see that the early childhood relationship I had with money impacted the decisions I made today. And so the necessity of changing some of those behaviors was key to really pivot some of our financial decisions toward the better. So I would tell someone who is contemplating taking the D-Free Academy to stop contemplating and just sign up. The amount of information you learn, the succinctness of the modules, the program, the workbook, the regular book, all of those tools are there not only to help you, but to really make it very simple and plain for what you need to do. I think the idea that you can't learn any more than you already know is just asinine and archaic, frankly. So stop contemplating, get off of the sidelines, jump in the financial learning game, and really plug in, because you really don't know what you don't know. And as I always say, if you don't need the meeting needs you. And if you need the meeting, then the meeting will be there for you. So make sure you show up. We are going to move forward with teaching D-Free at my church. I really can't wait to expose the church members to this program. We've been believers in Crown Financial Ministries. We've been believers in the Dave Ramsey Financial Peace University. But again, having the cultural relevance and relationship to Dr. Soaries and the ministry in New Jersey and this ministry, D-Free, has just been like a complete game changer. And I'm so thankful and so grateful for this program. And I'm also very grateful and thankful for the cultural competence that was expressed throughout the program. And, I'm just really thankful that God allowed a visionary to create a program such as this for such a time as this. I have had a wonderful experience with D-Free, and taking this course has truly changed my perspective and my outlook on finances. It introduced me to financial knowledge that I may have been aware of in a really small way, but really amplified my knowledge and awareness through this course. So one of the amazing things that happened was my husband and I were able to pay off thousands of dollars of debt. And really, it was just the accountability from D-Free to really pay attention to some things that we were doing relative to car payments and, having the money to be able to pay off the car payments, but not actually focusing the funds on paying them off until I came into D-Free. So that was like a big aha moment that literally changed.
Looks like we're frozen. So everybody remember the message that you just received. I'm sure Reverend Sutton will be back on. Looks like we've lost her on the screen. Oh dear.
Hi, Brianna, you're hosting.
I suppose I am.
I love it. It's Tamika here. Hold on.
Thanks, Tamika.
No, thank you for diving right in. That's how you know we are D-Free family. I have not seen your faces in a very long time. Can y'all even see my face? I look absolutely insane. I have a toddler that is running my whole life.
I know that's right.
Yes, I thought it was just me that was frozen.
And Tamika, thank you for Saturday. I saw that you were presenting and I says, okay, she'll handle it. So I'll go do something else. So I thank you. I know you did an excellent job. Please share with us, how that was on Saturday.
Yeah, so Saturday session, it was pre-recorded. So I won't tell a story and say that we were live there, but we pre-recorded a session that included myself representing D-Free, a gentleman that was representing GreenPath. I don't know if any of you guys have used the GreenPath services before, but they're a company that helps with like debt consolidation and credit counseling more than anything, like true credit counseling. So they will talk you through whatever financial difficulties you may be going through. If you're in a difficult financial situation, you're behind on your bills, they can help negotiate on your behalf. In addition, though, let's just say, you're doing well financially and you know that you can be doing better. Let's say if I was able to reduce my interest rates by 3% on all of my cards, it would give me X, amount of cash every month to play around with or do something else with. And they help to do some of that advocacy for you as well. And so it was Bill, I'm sorry. So Bill was there and he spoke on behalf of GreenPath. And then we had a young lady that represented a new organization that I wasn't familiar with called Perscalis. It is a relationship, I believe, that we have through Prudential, where they give people technical training or training in a technical area. And it's almost like college, but it's completely free. They focus primarily on technological careers and opportunities, but they provide this training for free. So if you decide, let's say you want to be, an online tech person or something like that, they have courses available that you can take around the country, some virtual as well. And as long as you commit, I believe each class runs anywhere from 10 weeks to 16 weeks. If you commit the time to taking the class, they will help you find employment in that area when you're done. And so it was a really, really great conversation. And we talked through about what we do, but also about how we can help people specifically. Like there were some live questions that came in or people that have real life scenarios, and we worked through some of those. So I definitely encourage you all, if you have not been a part of the Disrupting the Wealth Gap series, to register for them. because you can also get all of the rewatches that'll be available to you. Let me see. I'm trying to see what else. I have a personal, it's actually not a personal favor. I have a D-Free favor that I need. We rarely do surveys to figure out like what's happening and how D-Free is impacting people's lives. I know we just were in the midst of an amazing testimonial and we do absolutely love those, but we are working on a survey initiative. I don't know if any of you guys have seen the emails. We need your reflections on D-Free. How have you engaged with us? How has your life changed? It's really important that we get a good representative sample of people that have done D-Free in different ways, to go ahead and complete the survey. I'm looking for the link now so I can drop it in. But I guess, God works in mysterious ways, because I was not supposed to be on camera. I was not supposed to be speaking tonight, but I'm gonna go ahead and make my plea right now, live and in person, and say that if all 25 people on this call could please it only takes about 10 minutes of your time to complete the survey, that would be really, really helpful to us. We're doing it in partnership with our major funder, who's been funding us for the last 5 years. And this is the first time that we're doing like a comprehensive survey to see how D-Free is doing. And so I would really appreciate it if you could complete the survey. The other part of it is, of the people that complete the survey, we'll be doing a drawing for some Amazon gift cards. So if you're like me and the Amazon truck is still showing up at your house, you might win a little extra help to keep them out of your pockets. So I encourage you to please complete the survey. Excellent. All right, well, we can go back. I think Reverend Sutton, I don't know if she's back on.
Yeah.
Anybody have any real? Oh, well, go ahead, roll on. I can get my nappy head out the camera. Dr. Sawyer just talk about me. He saw me right now. But we're amongst family, so I'm gonna just say that I was just letting myself be seen, because I didn't want y'all to be hanging out here, and I didn't want to make Royetta work too hard. So, but I'm here if you need me. I will turn it back over to Reverend Sutton, because I think we actually do have an agenda. So,
You do, and I thank you so much, Tamika.
no problem.
Thank you. Yes, I got kicked out and I couldn't get back into our meeting. So I apologize, but I hope you all enjoyed. You were toward the end of First Lady Steele's testimony. And so I hope you all enjoyed that. But I think you already know who our guest is tonight, because we had a sneak preview last week. And so at this time, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. I switched internet routers and all kinds of things on this end. So prayerfully we'll be okay. So let's get started. So our guest tonight is, none other than our very own Miss Royetta, whom we absolutely love and got a lot of feedback from last week. Thank you all for those who shared just how much they enjoyed some of the information that Ms. Royetta shared. And so we're grateful for that. And so tonight we're going to talk with Ms. Royetta, as well as all of you, about some of the highlights with the D-Free curriculum, as well as our challenges and best practices. That is a really, really broad range of things to talk about, but we're going to try and narrow it down. We want to hear from you, those of you who have been participating in the Academy, those who want to share with others. We want to hear from you. And so, we're having this conversation with Ms. Royetta. Just as a reminder, these are our 12 steps. This is what it looks like for those of you who may not know, and they're just starting. Level 1 is getting started, and getting started is really, admitting the problem, addressing the mess, and adjusting your attitude. And so with that, this first level is really about behavior. Level 2 is getting control. Start the plan, steer the power, set the timer. Level 3 is get ahead, maximize the margin, minimize the stress, and maintain focus. And of course, level 4 is to give back. Now, that's just as a refresher and as a reminder to all of you, but we want to go ahead and talk about some of those things that we've encountered. And I'm grateful for our co-host tonight, Ms. Royetta, who has been teaching and just diving into D-Free and diving in particularly into the curriculum. And there were some points that she wanted to make last week that we were unable to make. And so we said this week we kind of focus on curriculum. And so, Ms. Royetta, I'm going to just kind of talk about, I guess, level 1, or do you want to go in a particular order? Were there some tell us about some of the things that you appreciate as best practices, things that you, liked about curriculum, and some of the things you encountered.
Okay, one thing, go back to that slide with the 4 levels.
Yeah, I think I saw some incorrect stuff there. So
Well,
I
it was just one item. And we, you know, the system, computer systems, sometimes if you correct them, it still doesn't correct. But anyway, I just want you to notice that on level 1, everything starts with an A. It's supposed to be admit and address and adjust, but the A stands for achieve. So in level 1, we want you to achieve these things. And I'll do each one separately, but level 2, you'll notice that each one of these steps begins with an S. So we want you to be reminded that Dr. Soares wants you to start the plan, steer the power, and set the timer. So Soares has these things set up for you. So in level 2, that's the S. In level 3, we have M. Maximize the margin, minimize the stress, and maintain the focus. So M is movement. M stands for movement. You've got to do something. And then level 4, everything starts with an I. Invest in others, ignite D-free living, impact the culture. So we want you to be intentional. Okay, so achieve Soares movement intentionally. And therefore, D-free will get you on the right steps.
wow, you got to make sure you put that in the chat.
Oh yeah, but I know that's what I was doing when I teach my classes. I try to give you some kind of mnemonic or some kind of helpful hint that if you're walking around the corner, you see something that reminds you about M. You can, oh, movement. I've got to do this, this, and this. And I remember that when I was going through the academy and going through sessions, it was either Janaya or Tamika, I can't remember which one, but they talked about unshopping. And I thought, oh, what is unshopping? I know how to shop, you know, and I know that many of you on this call do too. But unshopping, I think it was Janaya or somebody mentioned that they go shop and they get all this stuff. And then before they check out, they go through the list and say, you know, I really don't need that. So they unshop, they put things back so that, you know, you don't spend more than you brought in. And I want to remind you, I have this friend, Linda, that she uses envelopes. She drives me crazy, but she uses envelopes. She has her gas envelope. She has her grocery envelope. She has her clothing envelope. So I want to just remind you that you don't spend, I think one of the tips from one of the Saturdays, I was thinking, oh, where's that tip? I need to write that down. Oh, dollars going out should be less than those coming in. Okay, so, you know, instead of, you know, they're always saying spend less than you make. Well, no, dollars going out should be less than those coming in. So just some helpful reminders and a tip. I look in every session, I look for a tip that I can use and live by during the week. And then I'll get another tip for the next week and another tip. But then just reading my notes from all the sessions, all the training sessions, that's helpful. Pick out something from those notes, read those notes regularly.
This is good. This is good. So unshopping is a term that we all need to add to our vocabulary.
It was Janaya. Yep, it was Janaya.
Yep, you see, so I'll go in the chat. Yep. So unshopping. This is good because I think those, how did you, mnemonic devices, is that what you call them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that does help us to kind of, you know, to remember the 12 steps and to remember how they impact us. I think that we have the benefit of having you as a teacher, you know, and knowing that you have that background. So you're teaching us something tonight. So I guess in that first level, was there anything that really stood out to you that was just like, it was an aha moment? Because that's the level where we start to unpack behavior and really unlearn some things and change some things. And so it seems to be the most impactful, at least for me it was. Tell me, is there anything that really stood out besides that?
I think that adjusting my attitude, like, okay, it's my money. I want to spend it when I want to spend it and how I want to spend it. But wait a minute. No, I can't do that because then next month I won't have that money because I've spent it all this month. So I think that was the biggest one of the three that in that first level and getting started, like I need to pay attention more to what's going on, admitting that I do have a problem. Like I was pretty good with my money, but once in a while, the money leaks. I think that was either Janai or Tamika, I can't remember which one, but money leaks was a big one also along the way, but just paying attention to what you need to work on was
Right.
what happens with the Get Started.
Excellent, excellent.
And I know there's people on here who've been here every Monday that have had some struggles and things that maybe they want to share in that first level, what it was that got them over.
Yes.
And we have to wait for people to unmute.
Yes, you remember last time we were getting ahead of ourselves because we
You're
can
right.
hear a little bit of a delay.
Mhm.
So anybody else have anything they want to share about level one? I know for me, it was addressing the mess. That thing really stood out to me because it was like, okay, now it's really time to go ahead and open up this mailbox and really take a look at my total picture, take the stuff from underneath the mattress, all the things I've been hiding and really kind of take a look at it. Anybody else? Oh, money leaks. Yes, big deal, big deal. Those money leaks. You want to go a little bit into what those are? Money leaks. It's a cute term. It sounds funny and you remember it, but what are money leaks?
Those little places where money just seems to fall out of your wallet and you don't know it's going places. So it could be coffee, it could be your gym membership that you're not using because of COVID, if you're nervous like me and don't want to be around people. It could be Amazon Prime, if there's more than one person in your household that has an Amazon Prime account and you guys are both paying for one. It's anything that you're spending money on that isn't really accounted for, that you're not keeping track of, but that in many instances is consistent. So it's just these little trickles of money coming out of your accounts. It could be, charges from your credit cards, or it could just be you spending it. You could be your own money leak. You get paid, you might, you pay your bills for the month and then everything else just seems to whittle away until the next pay period.
Right.
You could be the leak. You could be the faucet. And so it's just those places where money goes that you didn't necessarily plan for, that it just seems to be disappearing. So when you're asking yourself the question, where does my money go? 9 times out of 10, it's a money leak that's the problem. It's not, most of us know what it costs for us to live on a month-to-month basis and what your bills seem to be. But it's those other places that you don't see consistently that tend to drain you financially. If you can't figure out, well, I make this amount and it only costs me this amount, amount to run my household every month. Why am I always broke? Or why don't I seem to have enough? Or why can't I get ahead? A lot of times it's going to be the money leaks.
Excellent. Now, that spoke a whole bunch into all of our situations. That anybody who discovered a money leak or a spending leak, I guess during the first level, that they want to share. Ms. Royetta, what was yours? Where did you find everything kind of leaking?
Oh yeah, everywhere. As I looked up and I said, oh wow, why is my cell phone bill so high this month? Because I took last month's money and spent it on something else. So that's what I was noticing, that I wasn't paying attention to everything that I needed to pay attention to. So money was leaking out because I thought, oh, I have extra money. And then I didn't realize that, I wasn't recording what I was supposed to spend. I had the extra money because I hadn't taken care of business. So I needed to take care of business. So, things would happen. You go in the store and you have your list. Take that list with you, everybody. You have your list and stick to your list. Don't do extra. That's how the leaks get you. So, plan, you need to plan. When I was raising my daughter, we would plan before we left the house. Okay, this is how you're going to react. This is how you're going to sit. This is how you're going to speak to others. This is the plan. We need to adjust ourselves, how we're going to act when we go out. So planning, I know that's level 2, but you have to fix your attitude to get yourself ready, because otherwise your money will take control. Your money, you want to be the one to get started to set up how things are going to go.
Yes, and thank you, Ms. Rayetta, but thank you, Tamika in Stembridge. For those of you who don't know, that's our executive director, and she just dropped such big knowledge, not just with her explanation that kind of made our spending leaks really clear to us, but even in the chat, you know, she shared that she had to reevaluate her entire financial picture when she made the decision to go part-time this summer. And she said, living and reliving D-Free in real time. I also want to acknowledge Tina Tanner, who mentioned monthly subscriptions, which is a huge place for spending leaks, whether it's Hulu or Netflix or, you know, whether it's a magazine subscription, whatever it is, gym memberships, I think Tamika mentioned. You know, I see it all the time, you know, it's those monthly subscriptions that we're not paying attention to. I'm getting charged regularly. Mine is Amazon Prime, although I don't want to give that one up. Quite a few of those that are out there. Yes, indeed. And I know the other thing that also stood out was that $5 habit. You know, that we all discussed that $5 habit. So I want to see some $5 habits. And those of you who don't know what that is, we all have one. We all have a $5 habit. I can tell you mine. Mine is French vanilla light and sweet. I have never met a Dunkin' Donuts that I did not like. So on the way to work, I would stop and grab my French vanilla light and sweet, and I grabbed my bagel. And, you know, that was my $5 habits. But when we were quarantined, I realized that that $5 wasn't going out, you know, as quickly. And then I also realized that I wasn't using gas. And so I sat there and I said, well, if this is $5 a day, you know, at the end of the week, it's $25. At the end of the month, it's $100, you know, being saved. And so anybody else have a $5 habit or a spending leak that they may have discovered now that we're thinking about it?
Well, I guess this is Sam Nixon. Greetings to you.
How are you? Greetings.
I think every once in a while I have my mint chocolate chip habit. It's once every couple weeks I'll get my mint chocolate chip, and I do like the ice cream there. So it's that adds up over time too. So I've had to release that a little bit as we move through the months here.
Oh, that's good to know. But you said every couple of months. I don't know. Would you consider that a habit if it's every couple of months? It seems like he does it in moderation. I don't know.
I'm moving towards that. I've said it's been every couple of weeks that I was doing the ice cream. So we try to move it to every couple of months or so.
This is good. I guess I think you are expressing some self-control over there in Alexandria, Virginia.
All right.
And congratulations. Okay. I think you guys get ready to start another class over there at Alfred Street. So looking forward to hearing more about that. So congratulations.
Thank you much, Deb. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, indeed.
So one more thing on the attitudes is I noticed that what I started doing part of the time was writing it in my cell phone when I'm at the register buying stuff and say, I got a need here, but I also did some wants here. So I kind of listed once in a while, not every single time, but in my cell phone, I would write some things down so that I could adjust my attitude for the next time I went to the store.
Ooh. You touch on something that we didn't talk about. That's needs versus wants. Oh my goodness. That is the huge aha moment. There's some things that we need and there's some things that we want. And sometimes our wants, we think it's a need, but it turns out to be a want. Mm-hmm. And so if there's anybody who's in that category, we want to see it in the chat as well, or feel free to unmute yourself like Brother Nixon just did. Mm-hmm. This is good talk. This is definitely good talk. Jasmine Walter, yes indeed, a word.
Needs versus wants. Yes.
I need shoes, but I want red bottoms, you know, that kind of thing. I guess I'm the only one. I don't see any hands raised on that one. But needs versus wants, that is a huge one that we gotta dive into.
And in that level one, that's where we had the pledge. So I think, right, level one is where we had the pledge. So you pledge to apply the principles in managing your finances. You keep your expenses below your income. You pay your bills on time. You know, open those envelopes. You invest in assets that grow in value, and you contribute to the community.
Yes.
And your
And
church
Reverend Sutton,
ministries.
Reverend Sutton, this is Joyce Argo.
Hi.
And so I have in my wallet, right, because I'm still one of these people that write checks.
All right.
And so I have something over the top of my checks before I write a check. And it says, is this purchase worth deferring my dream of? And I just have a blank line and a question mark. And I have it blank so that because I know what my dreams are. So is it worth deferring my dream of paying off my house or, getting stuff that I want to get? And then I have a little sticky note under it that says 3 questions to ask. Is it an unexpected need or want? Is it absolutely necessary? And is it urgent?
Ooh, accountability. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to type. I can't even type quick enough. You're gonna have to put that in the chat. So asking yourself those questions right before you go ahead and write that check out, huh?
Yes.
That is accountability indeed. That is really taking a look at that needs versus want. And it's taking it to a whole nother level. We have a D-free credit card. I was trying to find it here. Actually, I do have it that we kind of use. I don't know how many of you guys have seen this. Wait, have you all seen this before? So this is one of our cards that we do. Wait, did I have it upside down? I think I did. All right, there we go. And this card we put before our credit cards or the card that you use most, and it kind of keeps you from using that card, and it's like your accountability. So that's my stop sign for that. But I knew you went for my checkbook too. So definitely, is it a need? Is it a need or a want? Is it necessary? And is it urgent? And then I want you to also put that line in. Oh, we can mail that to you. Mm-hmm. We have a digital version, but we can also send some to you. When you guys, First Lady Parker, when your church signs up and you guys are going to be a part of the D-Free and you guys will start your class, we'll make sure that everyone gets one of these. So yes.
Okay, that'll be good because I first time I heard about it. I didn't know you all had.
Oh no, yes, as part of our program and participating and with your classes and with your folks signing up, you let us know how many and we will go ahead and get these out to you. Yes, indeed. So yes, Miss Argo, I wanted to make sure that you added the that line about your dream. What was it that you shared about the dream? Could you repeat that?
Is this purchase worth deferring my dream of? But I'm typing it in the chat now.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. This is good. This is good. So yeah, those little stop signs are little reminders for us to just kind of question whether it's a need versus a want. And so I'm glad about that. Hi, Miss Aldridge. Let's see. Lesson 1 talked about the slavery of debt. Indeed. What I did that got me into debt. Yes. Apply the lower interest card rate. Yes, absolutely. To transfer balance. If accepted, I would not get rid of or put the card that I transferred the balance from, ended up using both. Okay. You want to come on, Mike, with that one? Miss Aldridge, or you want to stay in the chat?
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. It was a trap for me. If they allowed me to get a lower interest rate card, I would transfer the balance. However, that other card was still available and I would end up using both of them. Mm-hmm. So that was a trap for me that I had to work myself out of.
Yes. And yeah. How did you work yourself out of it? What helped you? Because I think that's a trap for a lot of us.
Well, actually, I'm retired now, so I actually used some of my funds when I retired that were available to me to pay off all my cards.
Yes.
And so it was a long time coming, but I took advantage of that to get myself there. And once I experienced the freedom of no credit cards, I enjoyed it. And I haven't gone back yet. Been retired 7 years. So yeah, it was a hard lesson, a long lesson to learn, because when you get down to not a lot of debt, everybody wants to give you a card. Yes. And so therefore you have to discipline yourself and realize that you really can live without it.
Oh, thank you so, so much for your testimony, your transparency. And like I said, there's a lot of us that get into that same cycle, which is why, with D-Free, we go for the lifestyle. We want to make sure your lifestyle is changed, that you live a D-Free lifestyle, that it's not just one-stop shopping. Because a lot of times when we get that credit card paid off, in your instance, it was a little bit different, but I've seen, where folks have the credit card paid off and it's like, whoa, now it's free. I can go ahead and do it again, and charge it up again. And I've also seen where you get the starter credit card. And then once your credit gets great, instead of them increasing your limit, they'll go ahead and give you an additional one with a larger. So now you have two balances that you're working on. And so I thank you for sharing that. It really did help a lot of people. So we appreciate you. And yes, Miss Josie, amen. I'm right on there with you. So this is good. This is good. So level 1 is a big, big, big level. But once you get out the gate and you have, level 1 and you get started, next we have level 2. And level 2 is a pretty amazing because that's when you start to put things into practice, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Somebody's coming in? Sure.
Yeah, no, this is Tress. I just wanted to share that, and listening to all the stories, it inspires me so much more to really not discount the little incremental steps that I've made even since the first session. And so, earlier during the year, I had a desire to do more humanitarian work and not be so bogged down where I felt like I had to work, just trading hours for dollars. And I just desired to do something different. But in order to do that and maintain my needs and wants to some degree, I had to make some decisions. And so hearing this information and reading through the workbook, I'll fill my cart up with things that I like. And then I make an intentional decision that if I don't have the same desire for it the next day, then I don't push the purchase button. So that's one approach that I've taken. But I've also taken a even greater step, because the things that create us to make those impulsive purchases is because the temptation is before us. I unsubscribed to probably 25 emails in one day. And I intentionally do that every day. And it feels so empowering because you look in your sent box or your trash box and you see all the unsubscriptions that you hit the button on. And it feels so good because you're getting rid of all these junk emails. And so you don't have to have the latest, this came out or that came out. I just unsubscribe to it. And so those have been the incremental shifts that I have made to try to get myself on track. Just little steps, but I'm getting there.
Let me tell you something. We celebrate big victories and little victories. That is a victory in and of itself. And I'll tell you why. Because you made the step. It did not take you, 12 steps to get into debt, and then to get into these situations and develop these habits. And so you're unlearning some things. And so every little step, every step forward is a step that we celebrate. So thank you for sharing that. That unsubscribe button is a blessing. Dr. talked about it. And Tamika actually talks about share. It was something you said earlier that reminded me of something. About the cart and having things in the cart, But she also talked about it because when you put things in the cart, sometimes those things follow you. All of a sudden, if you were interested in this. So by the way, do you still want it? And so Tamika said, she shares with us that is not God. The Lord telling you need to have this thing. And she always just, so I wish she could. Thank you, Tamika. She's in the chat. Yes, indeed. She said, clear your cookies everywhere on every device so that they don't follow you and remind you.
Yes.
Yes. So she shares that often, because sometimes I'll come up with, God, is that you? Am I supposed to have this Gucci bag? Whatever it is. And she says, no, that is definitely not him. Clear those cookies. So you're doing great. Yes, she said it's torture. Yes, thank you, Tamika. So yes, indeed. I thank you for also balancing because I know she has Aaron tonight. So thank you so much for balancing. But yes, clear your cookies so that they don't chase you. So when you put stuff in that cart, it will come back and continue to tempt you. So yes, the unsubscribe button is amazing. It's a beautiful thing. I've also learned to unfollow certain pages because when you follow the page, it pops up again in your social media, it's like, wait a minute, I was looking for this shirt and here it is again, you know. So you think it's divine. So yes, excellent, excellent, excellent. Congratulations on the steps that you're making. And it's habit forming, you know, you just got to do these habits, you know, just continue to do them, and we'll see some amazing transformation. So this is good. Level 1 is good. We learned so much. I'm looking at the time. I don't even think we have time for level 2. So we're going to hit level 2 next week and we'll dive into that. But for those of you who have any kind of, just want to share any testimonies, now is the time to do it. If you've made some steps in level 1, or you remember some of the things that you did, or you can encourage somebody else on the call, feel free to join in and share it in the chat or share it with us this evening. Definitely. Hi.
This is Arba.
Hi, Arba. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm working on something all the time, and I'm always listening in the background. But listen, I have a funny story. That I have a friend that I really am trying to encourage her to go through D-Free. But she bought a house last year, and the house was staged. And it had all of these different things in it. It had picture frames and wall trinkets and all this different stuff in it. And so she was like, oh, this is not of my taste. I don't want this stuff, blah, blah. And I said, look, girl, don't throw the stuff out. Just give it to me, right? Just give me all this stuff you don't want. And I put it all in a crate. So then this year, I called her up and I said, what you doing today? She said, oh, well, I'm getting ready to go to the store because I want to buy this frame because I got something I want to put in this frame. And she was describing it. I said, that sounds like the frame that I took in this crate that you gave me last year. She said, oh, no. She said, well, send me a picture. Let me see, because she just wanted so bad to go spend money. She said, send me a picture. Let me see it. I sent her a picture. She said, oh, that's a nice frame. I'm gonna come get it.
It was already in her house.
Huh?
I said it was already in her house.
It was already in her house. She was gonna throw it out, you know, and here it is a year later. Now she gonna go buy a new frame. So
that is so funny.
Come get your frame.
That is so funny. And look, you probably could have wrapped it up and given it to her as a gift, and she would never know.
Wouldn't have even known it was her right, the frame that was in her house. But
yeah, you're a good friend. You told
I guess the moral to that story is, you know, sometimes people they just, you know, oh, this is not to my liking. I don't want this. I don't want that. And then, you know, don't throw away really good stuff. You know, you don't turn around and then go buy something new.
Well, you know, it's funny you would say that because I have this habit of going shopping in my own closet. You know, I started to go right through my closet and pull out stuff because what was in last year or, you know, 2 years ago or 10 years ago, you know, you find that it kind of comes full circle. So I do a lot of shopping in my house, you know, in terms of my closet, but also in my house, rearranging things. You'd be surprised giving yourself a new home when you rearrange something within the house. So I'm like, listen, I'm a queen of doing that. Level 1 has been achieved tonight.
Oh yeah, and help your friends. Help your friends. When they say they're going to throw something out, take it from them and then give it back to them next year.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Look, you're a good friend to hold on to that.
Oh, yeah. Well, because I know her.
Okay. That's real good. That's real good. So we got a lot going on in the chat now. So thank you everyone for sharing. Yes, that all the different things that we can do. So this is really, really great. Yes, movement helps. Absolutely. Sell on Marketplace. Thank you for that to make money. You can do that. That's Facebook Marketplace. That's a place. Regifting is a movement. It sure is. Yes, to make money. Absolutely. I see some things going on in the chat. So thank you. Thank you, Miss Joyce Argo. Yeah, shopping in the closet. You know, and I also feel those things, those outfits that are habit forming. You know how you wear a certain shirt with a certain skirt every time you wear it, and you just trick it up and change the shirt, and all of a sudden you got a new outfit. I'm just saying, throwing it out there for those of you in the closet. Mr. Nixon, that's not for you. That's for us, the ladies, you know. But definitely wanted to share those tips. But definitely, so we'll be back next week. Definitely talking about level 2. We have some other things we're going to dive into that we'll share next week. But we want to make sure that that you all come back. Level 2, and then we'll talk about what types of spending we do. You know, why do we do? Mhm.
But thank you for letting me know that the outfits wasn't for me.
I had to tease you. Miss Royetta, did you have any closing thoughts?
No, I think we got enough tips tonight to make it through the week. And looking forward to next week and more participation from our participants.
Yes, indeed. And please, we want all kinds of tips. Some things that you think you do all naturally or automatically, please make sure you share them with us because, it can help somebody else. A lot of people are just getting started. And so those of you who are pros, we want to be able to encourage one another and just keep meeting back in the same place, being able to share. And so by all means, we look forward to seeing everybody next week at the same time.
Hello,
Oh.
this is Margie again.
Yes, hey, Miss Margie.
I just want to just throw something in from
Sure.
the IT background.
Mhm.
When you unsubscribing to emails,
Mhm.
if they ask for your email address, don't put it in because that's called phishing. Because what that's going to do is you'll unsubscribe to that one, but you get 10 more. So use caution in doing that.
Thank you. See, this is why we get together in community so you can share tips like that. Thank you so much. Listen, you've been a blessing tonight. You had a whole bunch of tips. So thank you. Thank you to everybody who shared tonight. We look forward to seeing you next week. Invite a friend. We encourage you to come back and bring someone with you. We want to walk through these 12 steps and kind of help one another so that we can help somebody else, because that last level is give back, and we want to be able to give back to someone else. And so thank you all for everything. Thank you, Tamika N. Stanbridge, Esquire, for jumping in and saving the day. Thank you so much, Miss Royetta, and thank all of you. We look forward to seeing you next week. Good night.